And welcome to another episode of Judgment Day with me, Matt Rebar. Oh my gosh, and I assumed you were going to introduce yourself. That is so rude. And Raina Butel.
That pause of, do I go? Do I not?
I literally, and I feel like I kind of gave you like a soft glare, like, are you going to say something?
I'm sitting here like bopping my head like,
well, what's so funny, and you know, this is a little off topic, but each podcast has like a different intro. So like me and Paul, I start and then toss it to Paul. And then on another piece, it's the other person, they toss it to me. And that, so like and then this one, I kind of just steamroll. So apologies. Raina, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I'm good. I have a new job temporarily.
Ooh.
Just kind of just want to make some side cash kind of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. In this day and age, like the more cash, the merrier. So,
right.
All right. Well, this one's going to be a quick read. The situation's pretty quick, but I think it's going to be interesting to talk about. So let's see how it goes. The title, Am I the Asshole for refusing to remove a scary welcome mat from outside my door? Oh, okay, here we go.
All right. This better be really scary.
Let's hear it. I live in an apartment complex. I was never really familiar with any of my neighbors as I pretty much kept to myself. A friend of mine got me a joke welcome mat with Pennywise the Clown from the movie It. It's a kind of 3D mat that shows you falling into a hole with Pennywise waiting at the bottom. I should specify that this friend had recently passed away, so the mat is somewhat sentimental to me. I got a knock at my door, and it was a woman who lives in the same building as me. She asked me to change my welcome mat because it scared her kids. I told her it was given to me by a friend who passed away recently and has sentimental value to me and closed the door. She complained to the leasing officer. The manager called me. I told him the situation and asked him what clause I am violating. He was tongue-tied, and I said, tell me which clause I am violating, and I will remove it, but then hung up. Am I the asshole? Ooh, what do you think?
It's really weird to go up to someone and say, change this.
Yeah.
You don't know me, but you're bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
That is very presumptuous, maybe. Like you feel like you are entitled to like that courtesy. I don't even know you. Don't just introduce yourself by coming out and saying this disrespectful thing. Get to know me at first and get to understand. I mean, I sent you a picture of this mat, and it is 3D. It's like looking down a wormhole, and Pennywise is like staring up at you. I would have to think that the person who's offended by this is a literal child, just because. I mean, it's just so. What a thing to get irritated about. Enough to go up to a person, and this is silly. This is really silly.
I think it's really important, like, you know, not a parent, no kids here, just a succulent that's kind of alive on my fridge. I think it's really important to like teach kids, like, you can't always like get your way. Like, you know, you have to deal with people. Like, I hate when people are like, well, my kid says this and this is what's going to happen. And it's just for me, like, so like demanding. And it's like, listen, like, do I think that we should treat kids poorly? No. But I think it's like, if I had a kid, you know, who was like 5, 6, who was scared of the mat, I'd be like, no worries. It's not real. You know, that's their mat. Like, we have to respect their space. Just don't go by the mat. That's it. Like, it's not my neighbor's fault for having that kind of mat. Now, if it was a mat that said something like prejudiced, or if it was a mat that like said, I'm going to murder everyone in the building, maybe I'd be more concerned. But like, I don't know, Pennywise from It on a mat doesn't really seem to be doing it for me as a cause to go to the leasing office. And you know, I think she was a little rude on the phone by being like, tell me what I'm violating, and then hanging up. But like, she's in the right. If it's not in the lease, I don't get like what they're gonna like, how are they gonna dictate that it's wrong or that like it's violating the lease? Like, if they can't properly say why it is, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think parents have a responsibility to teach their children things, how to grow up and adjust to the adult world, because yeah, it's a little kid and this adult is pretty immature as well, but the mat's not going to hurt you. The mat's not going to tell you to kill somebody. It's not like a call to action, like murder the apartment. And yeah, this is a Karen. I hate, this person's living next door to a Karen and a, let's see, what's a Karen's daughter's child's name? Maybe like Bayle with a
Belay.
Baeyleigh, like Bayleylin or something like that. Like it's asking a lot, and you have to have you have to be pretty bold to say that to someone. I would also ask, is it in the lease? Because it's like, mind your own business.
Yeah.
It's my mat. It's my little tiny square outside my apartment.
I guess I'm also confused. I've never lived in an apartment or an apartment complex, so I don't really know like what the rules are in terms of like, because technically you are sharing the building. It is the hallway outside your apartment is a shared space. So I don't know. I'm curious if for those who live in apartments, if they feel like, yeah, this kind of is like, not appropriate because it is a shared hallway space. It's not inside her home. It technically is outside of her apartment, which is the shared space. I mean, have you lived in an apartment? What does that change your mind about this a little bit?
So I have lived in an apartment. I live in probably not exactly a more traditional apartment. All of our units are next to each other and we enter from the outside. So it's not like a complex, but I will say I'm entitled to a little 2x3 space or whatever in front of my door at any apartment. And also I share like an interior door with the unit like over, so we can enter from the street and the backyard, but we share the like street parking space to go up the stairs. And I mean, she's got a little statue, she's got a little door decoration, and I have a mat too, but I mean, don't look at the mat. Unless it's like actually offensive, then you have every right. But if it's just a design you don't like, shut your mouth and move on.
Shut your mouth and move on. I love that. Yeah, I get what you mean. I think I've always prided myself, to be honest, about like being someone who, was good in shared spaces and like wanted to accommodate people. But I just feel like this is like not the like it's just not worth the accommodation. It's not like appropriate kind of accommodation. I don't know. So
yes,
that's just my 2 cents. So are you ready for some judgment? What do you think? Is the oh my God, I said IT. Is the it mat individual, are they the asshole in the situation? Are they not the asshole? What do you think?
Not the asshole.
Yeah.
They're not the asshole for defending their tiny space of tiny mat.
Well, guess what? According to Reddit, we're both wrong. They said you're the asshole.
What? Oh my God.
Let's hear some of these top comments and let's see if this changes our mind. I don't know if it will or not, but top comment, you're the asshole. This sub isn't, am I technically violating my lease agreement? It's, am I the asshole? Deliberately and unnecessarily frightening anyone more vulnerable than you is always an asshole move. No one's telling you to throw out the welcome mat. Just move it inside your doorway instead of outside in the shared hallway. There's literally no reason why it has to be in the common space instead of inside your home. Second one, put it inside the door instead. Third, you're the asshole. Just pop the mat inside the door or something. Small children get irrationally scared by stuff. So while you're legally right, keeping it out is a bit douchey. Fourth one, frame it and hang it in your apartment. You'll not get another gift from your friend who has passed. That's actually probably a really good suggestion, is like to preserve the mat if it's that important. And the fifth one, you're the asshole. I know you have the right to have that doormat, but the question is whether it makes you an asshole, and it does. Little kids get scared, and to have something that is scaring a kid in your building is kind of an asshole move. If you scare a kid that doesn't really deserve it, you are being jerky. If I lived there and it was my kid, I'd probably steal or deface your doormat if you didn't do the neighborly thing after a polite request. Wow, now that to me is the bigger asshole move. So
yeah, what the hell?
I don't know. I'm looking, and it's what, you're the asshole, you're the asshole. I'm on top comment 9, 10. Okay, the 11th one said, no assholes here.
That is so surprising. Not even like everyone sucks here. The thing is that parents have a responsibility to help these children with these irrational fears. If the world changed around children, clowns wouldn't exist. Dogs would be little tiny clouds, and the sky would be like purple, pink, and like all these types of things. Like, it's not scary, and this is a good learning experience for the child if the parent wants to do their job. Yes, I 100% disagree with all of this. I'm so surprised they want to coddle this baby
I mean,
kid.
the truth of this thread is it is questioning a moral. You're the asshole. It's not like they said, it's not about whether or not it violates the lease, right? Because if it violated the lease, then yeah, you're the asshole, right? You signed the lease. But it is asking more of, you know, are you in the right? Are you being a good person? Are you being a nice person? And yeah, in their eyes, no, you're being a kind of an asshole. Maybe a justified one, maybe a legally correct one, but still an a-hole all the same. So
yeah, I don't think you're an a-hole for keeping your own space. Like, that's not a-hole behavior. But
yeah, I agree.
All right, I'll let you wrap it up.
I will wrap this one up because clearly we are upset. Well, we'll have another good Judgment Day for you this Thursday. Until then. Judgment Day is a podcast by Starvolt Studios. Judgment Day is executively produced by Matt Rebar, Logan Molnar, and Raina Butel. For more awesome content, just go to starvoltstudios.com or on their Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter page.